So bring yourself on your mat. We will set the intention for this practice today. You can do a couple of deep breaths. Focusing on yourself. And may this practice bring us quality time with ourselves today. And you can add any intention from yourself. And during the practice, remember it. And continue your breath, still with closed eyes. And focusing now on the chest zone. Just nice inhale, let go still your chest. And exhale back to the nose. And we use just natural breath. Finding nice connection with our body through the breathing. And then refocus yourself a little bit deeper till your belly. So when you do inhale now, air goes till the belly. And exhale back to the nose. And let yourself to feel a little bit more grounded. A little bit more relaxed. A little bit more enjoying yourself. And then when you feel ready, start slowly come back. Opening your eyes and bring yourself for the first pose into the tabletop position. So what you want to do is to open your knees on the sides of your mat, and preferably if you can reach smooth coverage of your floor, if you do it on the smooth coverage. So any nice distance that feels okay and where you feel already a little bit tension. Yeah? So keep your big toes closed, and then you're reaching out just in front of you and moving with the chest all the way down into the child position. And do some corrections on the way. So if you feel that you're losing control with your feet or knees on the sides, do some corrections now. And then we start to breathe deeply and nicely. Relaxing completely our hip zone and letting our shoulders to be open. I remind you that in Yin Yoga class, we don't push, we don't force. We find a nice, age for our body that we can hold a couple of minutes at least. And you can add always a little bit more intensity in the middle of the pose, maybe to open more your knees on the sides, maybe moving more deeper with the chest, touching the ground. And relaxing even deeper here, even more. Okay, now slowly start to relieve the pose. It's our warming up the position, so we're not going to hold it a really long time because we will work now with the same group of muscles. So right from here, from tabletop position, again bring yourself back to initial pose. We move to the puppy pose, so we want to be focused more a little bit on the top of the back and our triceps. I remind you that for more advanced position, you might use the blocks, place them on the sides that feel comfortable, maybe lower, maybe higher, and you bring in your arms above the blocks, like stretching your on them, and again moving with the shoulders on nice distance here for you, and with the chest down. So if you feel that it's getting intensive, then you can choose only the floor and start from the floor. So the same alignment for your elbows here, again with the chest moving down, and hands you can bring above your neck zone. Chicken point for our hips here, they're above the knees, and we relax and completely and holding. And this is really nice, effective pose if you have a long day in front of computer, for example, and you want to get relief for your space between the shoulder blades, for your shoulders, for the neck zone. This is really, really nice pose to hold. In about 1 minute more we are going to hold here. You can do some corrections if you feel that it's getting more intensive for you. And last 2 deep breaths. And then softly with supporting hands first on the ground, and putting aside your blocks if you were using them. letting yourself be back in the tabletop position. So we shortly get relief for our top of the back, and we will be focused in warming exercise for our hips. So we move to the sleeping swan here. So absolutely the same principle like in the pigeon position. You want to bring your knee close to your hand, flex the feet on the side, and then you crawl and stretching yourself back, finding nice edge for the body that you can hold. I like to put between my feet an inner side block, helping me to fix my feet in proper position. And also, if you feel that you're too high from the mat with your hip zone, so with your back hip, you can always put the block there, or pat the mat, or pat the blanket. So any supportive tool that you can use to close the gap. So we want maximum to close the gaps that can give more intensity. And then slowly you bring yourself with the chest, forehead down, enjoying the stretch. And again, spend some time on corrections if you feel like you need them. You should feel comfortable. So this pose we are going to hold about 3 minutes. Relax and enjoy yourself, enjoy your stretch. And in the middle of the stretch, it's nice practice to recheck yourself. Don't you squeeze your muscles, don't you have this resistance in the body. So try to catch any squeezing, I would say, feelings, emotions on physical level, and relax yourself even more. Because we really often have this tendency, and on physical level also our body automatically have some habits to have resistance. And so we want to implement new habits. Do not resist, but to accept. And a little bit more here. And now start to close the pose, so you straight your arms, letting your hip to be grounded, relieving the block or blanket if you used it, and we change the sides. So bring yourself back to the tabletop position, and then knee to the hand, flex the feet on the side, and crawl back, letting your hip to be as low as you can here to bring it. And again, if you feel that it's too high, put the block, blanket, something nice, supportive. Okay, I will put my block here On the front also, if you feel that it's too intensive for your belly or breathing, you can always put the block in front of you and forehead on the block. And then from the belly, we're relaxing, letting our hips to be relaxed, staying in observation mode of your body, of your feelings, of your thoughts. And now slowly we start to close the pose on this side. So lift up your torso, straight your arms. So right from here, from tabletop position, bring yourself on your belly. So next pose is the seal position, but if it's intensive, you can also stay in sphinx pose. So seal pose, when you spread your hands and place them a little bit further from the body and a little bit from the lines of your shoulders. So you want to have more space in front of you for your hands and arms. And you ground your hips, so feel secure. If you have acupuncture mat, actually it's nice also pose to hold. And then you start to lift up, pressing away with the hands, arms, and on the top check your shoulders, so you can even roll them and drop them especially down. You look in front of you and staying in this pose. And we start to do deep inhale and deep exhale. So I know that it's not that comfortable, of course, because the belly is not in standard position, yeah? And this is how we stimulate actually our digestion system when we do the twists, curves, and we do deep inhale and deep exhale at the same time. If you feel that seal pose is getting intensive for you, or your back is simply doesn't allow you yet to do this pose, you can bring yourself with the elbows down and you place the arms into the sphinx position. So the same line of your shoulders continue parallel to the long sides of your mat. And again, shoulders open, chest, you look in front of you and hold sphinx position. Again, letting your hips and belly to be relaxed here. And we do deep inhale and deep exhale. And about 5 deep breaths here more. Good, and then softly bend the elbows, bring yourself all the way down. So you want to relax the back, and when you reach the ground, you start to turn around. Okay. So bring yourself into the straight line, and we move to the warming exercise. First, happy baby pose for the both legs. So bring the knees closer to the chest, then open knees on the sides. Bring shin like about 90 degrees towards your mat. Grab the feet. Check your alignment again. So if you want to do some corrections here, you can use the belt, for example, if you cannot grab the feet, or maybe you need to hold the ankles or under your knees. Yeah? So check yourself here on the comfort sensations. And then relax in our hip zone. And again, we do deep inhale and deep exhale, improving our digestion system. So when we place our hips, legs here in different alignments, we close a little bit our belly, we do some challenge for the breath like this, and stimulation of digestion is happening. And now about 5 deep breaths here more. So we use this pose like warming up for our lower part of the back, for the hips, for the belly zone. And 2 deep breaths more. And then you fix your right feet still in the happy baby pose, and you let your left leg slowly to be straight, and slowly moving all the way down till the ground. Check in, how do you feel? Yeah. So if it's getting intensive and you feel that, okay, this pose I cannot hold 1.5 minutes or so, then you bend the knee of your left leg. Yeah. Otherwise, keep the base leg straight, and other one still shin almost 90 degrees towards the ground, towards your hips. Breathe and hold in one side happy baby position. If you feel in a while that your feet start to be closed and it moves towards your hips, it's totally normal. So you're trying to keep the same alignment with your arms, so we are using really the force of our arm and hand here. But if you cannot resist to the gravity and you feel that your feet is just moving down, it's okay, it's totally fine. And couple of breaths here. And we will start to relieve this side. Okay. So now for the proper alignment, I'm asking you again, bring yourself into the two legs happy baby position. So two sides we will do. You opening again knees on the sides, grabbing the feet, checking this fixing central line of your body. And then we change the side. So you keep, for me it will be the left side, I fix it, and you start to straight your base, your leg till the ground. And then deep breath. And relaxing the hip zone. For your central alignment, you can always press down through the heel of your base leg to help your body to keep the central line. So if you feel that that side was okay, but this one is more intensive and you cannot really hold the same amount of time, it's totally fine to finish, to close the pose early, okay? So listen to your body, and there is a borders when you still want to challenge and hold, but there is a line when your body is saying you it's enough for me, and you should listen yourself. And about 5 deep breaths here more. And then you slowly start to relieve the pose, closing the feet, relieving your leg. Straight both legs. And we will move to the twisting pose. A little bit more challenge twist today. So you want to bring your hips more on the right side first. And then you want to bring your right leg cross over the left one, like eagle legs. You can bend the left leg also. And then you start to bring your both knees on opposite left side. So if you brought yourself with the hips initially on the right, you bend the knees on the left. You can open your arm on the side. Check in your shoulders, and shoulder blades, they should be grounded. And then we again doing deep inhale and deep exhale. So twisting poses, they're super healthy for our spine. We are working now with the sciatica nerve, also with IT band, with the liver meridian. But if you do also deep breath, we improving nicely digestion system. Relax your face. Sometimes we are forgetting to relax muscles on our face. And about 5 deep breaths more. And relieving the pose, you bring yourself back to the central line first, and then we change alignment. So if you were on the right side, now you want to move your hips on the left side. Yeah? So to create some space from the right, and then you cross over your left leg above the right one. And practically we do the same, so start to bring your knees all the way down, open an opposite arm on the side, checking your space of shoulder blades and shoulders. It should be grounded, no any gaps on the top. And then moving into the stretch, holding, breathing. About 5 deep breaths more. And softly we start to close the pose, so hips, bringing back to ground them, then opening the legs. And moving to our last pose for today, shoelace position. So you want to cross your feet, and up to you where you will hold your legs. So if you know that it's intensive for you grabbing the feet, you can also close the knees and bring them to the chest here. You can use the belt to help yourself hold the feet. Otherwise, classical approach, when you hold the feet and finding the level of the stretch that is comfortable for you. So maybe it will be on the hip zone, maybe a little bit higher. And here just enjoying and holding last position with deep breathing. Because in this pose we also close our stomach from both sides to improve our digestion system. About 5 deep breaths more. And then you start just slowly relieve the pose. Straighten your legs. And bringing yourself into Savasana. Opening your hands, feet on the sides. If you feel like to bend your knees, you can always place the mat or to cover yourself with the blanket. And then completely relax your face. Completely relax your body. Let Shavasana to connect all poses in one. And then when you feel ready, start slowly move your fingers and toes. Straight your arms, stretch them above the head. Softly roll on the right side. And when you feel ready, bring yourself back in any comfortable sitting position. Bring the hands in front of your heart for clean, loving intentions. Thank you for joining. Namaste.